We are counting May, June, July, August, September. 5 months to go for the 2025 presidential election, which is going to be around the 7th of October this same year. Within this time, medicals have been going on from voters and young persons and those eligible to register massively ahead of this election. The election has been described by many as a very important election in the history of our nation, 60 years, more than 60 years after we regained our independence, mindful of the plethora of issues that are affecting the nation, ranging from the issue of roads, which many say the issue of roads needs much and urgent attention. At the level of the health sector, many still say needs a lot of improvement. At the level of our educational facility or the educational sector, be it basic, be it secondary, be it university level, many still say it needs a lot of improvement. The energy sector in itself, for more than 60 years, many people still say we need a lot of improvement at the level of the energy sector because some villages don't have electricity since the day we regain our independence. And to those without even have, including some cities, they suffer from massive rationing and thus pose the question, can heavy industries be stabilized with the epileptic nature of electricity? And that is why many are calling for Cameroonian youth to be highly engaged in politics and to push their politicians to task, to make their politicians to understand that they are there to serve the people and not there to serve their personal interest. It is very few that you see many people will say that a lot of people are actually taking part in presidential election in politics. In Cameroon, many of our young men and women seem not to care or bother about the issue of politics. They will tell you politics is an issue of the old or an issue of elderly persons. However, when things are going haywire, they keep blaming politicians whom they did not select, whom they did not vote for, whom they say politics is for the old. And this time around, we are calling and asking one question that with 5 months to go, can the opposition parties in our nation, including the ruling parties, can they be able to regalvanize and give voter confidence to enable voters to move to the poll to decide their fate regardless of their political affiliation? With more than 5 months to go, vote registration will soon close because in June there will be an official termination or closure of the official registration for the election, which means that those within the 10 regions of Cameroon and out of Cameroon who are eligible to vote, who have not yet registered, they have just this May to do the registration, because after the May, they will no longer have the opportunity to register again. Some are saying that without opposition alliances, they may not register. Whether we like it or not, politics has a great role in our lives, for it is a political decision for most of us to go to church, because without peace in an area, no church service will hold. And thus, you need a politician to stabilize the peace in that locality so that you can be able to sing praise to God with the quietness of time. Imagine if those in Syria or those in Gaza can actually praise and worship God amidst the bombardment. Then you know it takes a political decision for us to go to church. It also takes a political decision for us to go to school, because if the roads are nowhere cared for, our children will have to trek for a long distance, as we are seeing some of them in the northwest and the southwest, in some parts of Cameroon, they will trek from a long distance. It takes a political decision to have good classrooms, as we are seeing in some parts of the northern parts of Cameroon, where many people are sitting under the tree to get education, and some still sit on the floor. And it takes a political decision to deploy teachers to some schools that don't have teachers, as we see that most of the burden in some villages are on the hands of what we call the Parents Teachers Association. With all these issues, Cameroonians should know that 1 month to go, voters registration will end. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. Welcome and happy Sunday. I want to seize this opportunity to wish all of you happy Sunday. Those of you celebrating your birthday this Sunday, a happy birthday to all of you celebrating this Sunday. And those of you who celebrated your birthday last week Sunday, I want to wish you a very, very big happy Sunday. And also I want to take this opportunity to wish you Rosemary, little Rosemary, happy birthday. The daughter of Mr. Nyam Robert, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You celebrated your birthday earlier this month. I want to wish you, little Rosemary, a happy big birthday to you, and may your mother, Madame Nyam Juan, continue to take good care of you. And also here in the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists whom we are going to discuss on an issue. We are also going to look at the issue about 8 years counting. We are looking at the issue of spatial status. That will be our second topic. Anglophone crisis, 8 years, and the pathway forward. However, I think these issues will be more on today's edition of our program. The first topic will be on the issue of elections in Cameroon. Can opposition win voters' confidence? Can opposition win voters' confidence? Then the next part will be 8 years counting. What is the impact of spatial status in our two regions of Cameroon? What is the impact of spatial status? In the studio, we are joined by Mr. Norbert, who is attending this program for his very first time. He is here with us, and happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us. And hope your weekend actually is moving on well.
No, it's really moving on well, and really I'm very happy and impressed to be on the platform with you, because it's like we said, this is the first time, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. In the studio, we are joined by the special advisor to Professor Maurice Kamto, who is also the chairman or the flag bearer of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, who has declared his intention, has been handed the confidence by his party. Professor Kamto is poised to run for the 2025 presidential election. The spokesman is here with us, Sir Mutaga, who is also an evangelist. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. Happy Sunday to all the millions of televiewers of my Media Prime TV. Permit me salute the people of Bacho, the people of Mahimen, the people of Manfred, the people of Kenden, my 34, 30, 22, even those of Meme, cross down to the Kumbatibo, Kruku, my native village. Those are the places which I had the opportunity to tour around during this Easter holiday period. Let me use this opportunity equally to greet the governor of the Northwest region, Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique, whom I have the opportunity to meet in his office. It's been about 3 days ago. And we discussed on this particular crisis that are plaguing the Northwest and Southwest region. Let me use this opportunity to greet the thousands and millions of sympathizers and militants of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. Don't forget, they are working day in, day out, tremendously to ensure that they have the adequate amount of money, 6 billion francs, that is being the budget for the campaign of presidential elections for Professor Maurice Kamto, who is a candidate of the CRM and candidate of the APC, the Alliance for Political Change in Cameroon. Okay. Thank you so much.
In the studio, we are also joined by the national president of Reform Party, who is the flag bearer for the party and the party ticket for 2025 presidential election. He is someone also that has put his life on the line to make sure that those who are unjustly incarcerated in the Northwest and the Southwest region as relation to the conflict that is 8 years counting, to make sure that they have justice. And he has added his voice several times to make sure that the conflict is not just resolved, but is resolved in a way that will meet the aspiration of the peace-loving people of the entire territory of Cameroon. He is also there and believe in one core principle, that his principle of economic is that the nation should be able to create its wealth and sustain its wealth and reduce its national debt, with one of his main policies, that is the policy of loan, which states that banks have been defrauding clients, that you are not supposed to give out loan and seize the property if the person default. That if you are to take the property, you confiscate and recover your money, then you hand over the property to the individual without confiscating the property in entirety. Senior Barrister Ashu Emmanuel is also an elite from that part of the region, the southwest region in particular, to be more precise, in the land of Wata, Fufu, and Ero. Senior Barrister, thanks for joining us. The land of Manu, the land of the warriors. When we think about Manu, we are thinking about Sanakan, where the warriors and the Bayan resistance. Hey, Kabib.
Good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon to all Reform Party members and sympathizers. Manfe, I'm on the way. I'm coming. You'll be seeing me this week. Special greetings to people of Tonga that I visited just on Wednesday. I would like to inform Mr. Javis, it's no longer a matter of conjecture. We are going to go into an alliance with a party that will be announcing in the weeks ahead. So those who thought that our candidature was just a matter of conjecture, they should start sending their clothes to the dry cleaners, because now Reform Party is coming and we are going to show you people what real campaigning is.
So the alliance is already on its way.
It's there. I don't want to make any pronouncement without all the documents having been signed.
Okay, we'll kickstart with you, Senior Barrister. We are looking at the Anglophone the election, 2025 election. Can the opposition party actually, give voters confidence? Because voters confidence is the main reason why a lot of people are still undecided to register for this election.
Yeah, voter confidence is not only the reason why people are not registering enough. It's the reason why CPDM has been in power for 43 years, because over many TV stations and radio stations we are told that CPDM is such a big giant that cannot be brought down, which is a fat lie. The real reason behind the supposed grandiose of the CPDM is simply voter apathy. In the just to take a small example, the 2018 elections, when I look at the result sheet from Bonaberi, I was surprised to notice that the entire Bonaberi did not register up to 10,000 voters. Just imagine that entire Bonaberi, a city that has close to 3 million people, did not register up to 10,000 voters. The official population of Bonaberi is 950,000. That's what the government states. But we have gone down to the field. We have done door to door, and we know Bonaberi does not have less than 3 million. So if from that population you have only 10,000, not up to 10,000, then you can imagine that these people have been fooling us over the years that they are strong. They are not strong. Let the people register, and you will see how that supposed giant will crumble like a castle of cards. So coming back to your question, you see, can the opposition come up with a candidate? Because when you see the opposition is not a political party.
Can they win voters' confidence?
Yes, the opposition, the candidates coming from the opposition political parties.
Can they win voters' confidence?
Why not? How do you win voters' confidence? The prelates, the Catholic priests, came out with a 10 points that they think should be satisfied by anyone who wants to run as president. To those 10 points, you have to add the integrity of the person who is running. Many people in Cameroon say, "Oh, we want an Ibrahim Traoré." They are not telling you that they want a military man. They want a person with a strong character, a fearless man. You see, those are the things. They want a person with a strong character, a fearless man, a courageous man,
a populist,
a man of his words. A man of his word, not a man who says one thing today, tomorrow is back on a different thing. Now, then you see somebody who has a proven track record. I remember in Douala here, a group of persons told one of my brothers, it is not because we say we want an Anglophone candidate that they should give us any Anglophone. Because my brother was told here in Douala, it's not because we're asking for an Anglophone candidate that we can just be given any Anglophone. We want the correct one, the proper Anglophone, who embodies our aspirations. A man who will unite the nation. Don't bring us people who come and cause more havoc than we already have. So is the opposition in a position to come up with such a man? Is the opposition, you want to add to what the priests put on the market? Look at the heavy taxes that have been slammed down on the population by the finance law. Do you have somebody in the position who can alleviate the suffering of the common man by doing away with those heavy taxes? Look at the economy. We have an economy which is piloted by the public service. Do you have in the position somebody who can put in place a market-oriented economy? You were just talking about the banking sector. Our banks, most of them belong to foreigners. Do you have in the position somebody who can revamp our economy by putting in place a vibrant bank sector that will be governed by a banking law that will have to define the conditions of access to credit and reimbursement of credit? So those are the type of things we are talking about. If you come up with such a candidate as you find in the president of Reform Party, then that type of person is very likely to win the confidence of the people.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Mr. Norbert, you have been observing the political landscape. Now, my question now to you is, can the opposition parties be able to win voters' confidence?
Thank you. I think it is really a hard question to answer. But I want to believe that to really turn down a regime that has been in place for 43 years is not going to be easy. Why is it not going to be easy? They have been there for some time and they know, they master the game. And in Cameroon, to be frank, I think CPDM is the only organized party that we have. And all the other parties, I don't know, the strategy or the strategic plan that they are putting to turn down the CPDM is really not seen yet. We have seen civil society activists advising Cameroonians to register with the aim that the other political parties are going to form an alliance, which will give a stronger force, which of course can permit maybe the opposition party to turn down the present regime. But up till now, I think what is being in the pipeline is still very little for us to really be. We are counting just 5 months. And to be frank, not everybody that registers will really go to the polling station to vote. We have seen it. We have seen it because Cameroonians are really discouraged because they know that no matter what they do, the present regime is still going to win. So as of now, I'm still seeing that the strategic plans that are supposed to be put in place by the other opposition parties are not yet enough. They are not yet enough. And I believe what can really what can really give a stronger pulling force is that alliance. If not, we are really going to put our hands again in water, because it is as observing the present situation, it is not really assured that a political party is going to turn down the present regime. It is still a problem.
So which means that you don't believe that a single party can pull the magic.
It is.
But you listen to Senior Barrister, he's saying that Cameroonians' mentality now is that they want a mindset of someone that can be productive, someone that can be actually proactive in meeting their needs. So within the opposition parties, you as an observer, member of the society, you have not seen those who can actually pull the magic. For now, no. I have my reasons, because like we said, those who register finally will not go. Not everybody that is on the voters list will really pass at the polling station. Why? Because the dormant nature or the conception that they have, because CPDM have been winning from let's say from 1992,
where the multipartism came in place, they have been winning consecutively. So it is really, it takes just, I don't know, somebody who believes in prophecy to really be sure that another political party is going to turn down the CPDM.
Sir Mutaga, special advisor to Professor Maurice Kamto, 2025 presidential election is just 5 months ahead. Voters registration will soon end, hopefully this May, because by June, once it is announced, vacancy is announced, the electors will, there will no longer be opportunity for registration. My question to you, same one I posed to Senior Barrister and Mr. Norbert, can the opposition parties or your party, can these parties be able to win voters' confidence? Because voters' confidence is one of the reasons of apathy.
Mr. Tah Mai Javis, you will bear in mind with me that this question seems to be a brain-breaking question, because winning of voters' confidence is not just a matter of the credibility of the political leaders in the opposition. It has to do with the credibility or the confidence the people have in the institutions that are in charge of organizing elections in our nation. So the ELECAM has a role to play, the Constitutional Council has a role to play, and then you have the administrators, who are the sub-divisional officers, the senior divisional officers, and the governor themselves. Don't forget that they have a major role to play in that. They are the administrators who are in charge of collaboration with ELECAM to ensure that the result, the verdicts that of the votes in the polls reflect the actual will of the people. Now, talking about the political parties of the opposition, you would bear in mind with me that there are numerous political parties that we only see them on the eve of presidential elections. So such political parties would necessarily not have the confidence of the people, because they are the political parties that are only there. They come out on the eve of elections because they think that they need to make a name, they need to chest pound, and then they need to maybe lobby for funding from the government. Don't forget that once you drop the 30 million francs as caution, there is 15 million francs that has to come in, and if you succeed in making a certain amount of percentage, you find that you go recover the other one. And some of them, they don't have the real will of ascending to the supreme magistracy of the nation. What they are interested in is the councils, they're interested in the parliament, so they want to use the presidential elections as a way to gain certain visibility and prepare for the next coming elections, which are the municipal, parliamentary, and regional elections, as you can count them. So they don't have any genuine intention of ascending to the supreme magistracy. What they are contented with is to grab those posts of a council, parliamentary seats, and all the like, and then they better up the lives of some of their friends, better up the lives of some of their family members, and all the like. So the actual interests of the people, don't forget that the statistics have proven that a greater change can only be affected in the nation once you ascend to the supreme magistracy of that nation. I want to take the case of Senegal, just next door. You bear in mind with me that PASTEC, which is the party of Ousmane Sonko and the Diomaye Faye, if you go through their track records, you will find out that this party were never majority at the National Assembly, but as immediately as Ousmane Sonko and Diomaye Faye, they won the presidential elections, the party has become a majority party at the National Assembly. Now, can political parties of the opposition win voters' confidence? I say yes. Taking an example from the Cameroon Renaissance movement that has been on ground since 2018, you find that after the debacle, the fiasco that happened during the 2018 presidential elections, we stood our grounds. We said that we cannot accept the results that were published by the Constitutional Council, because we consider those results were not credible, and we asked for a recount of the ballot by bringing in international experts. We talk of the African Union, we talk of even the United Nations sending agents or their experts to come and ensure that elections were conducted free and fair. Now, one of the things that made us even have to contest those elections of 2018, you will bear in mind that we had Minat boss during that period, Mr. Paul Atanganji, that brought in fake Transparency International to Cameroon.
But I think that should not be the issue of the discussion, because the question was
yes,
voters' confidence.
I'm going out.
Yes, but that one doesn't have anything to do with who go and cast the ballot or who doesn't cast the ballot. We are looking at the ballot.
Mr. Tah Mai Javis, I'm telling you of the political parties of the opposition. You ask it.
Yeah, no, you continue.
You ask, can the opposition?
I agree.
I said that there is one part of it that is the work of the opposition,
yes,
and the other part which is the work of the institutions in place.
You indexing the Minad boss now on this issue.
I am indexing the Minad boss because let me explain this. Let me explain this to you emphatically. He hails from the Northwest region, and I'm from that region. I think that if we want to go on that line, I think I would not even have to go too much. But like I was saying, the institutions in place, don't forget that the Minad is an institution.
Yeah, but it was not the one asking people to cast ballot. You are raising the issue of Transparency International.
Yes.
This doesn't cast,
my brother,
this does not affect who casts the ballot or not. Let's stay within the ballot.
My brother, the
issue is within the ballot.
There are a combination of factors that will pull the voters to go and register and vote.
Yes, and
the more that the voters believe that there is a candidate of the opposition that can fight to ensure that their vote cast is being respected, they have confidence in that political leader. I talk of the CRM that went in for the 2018 presidential election. They contested the election right up to this particular juncture.
Let me do a follow-up to you.
Now,
let me do a follow-up for you. You see your time. Don't bother. I'm not giving the mic. Let me do a follow-up.
Good.
Now, you raised that issue because the question is, I'm looking at if opposition can win voters' confidence. And one of the reasons why many voters see they may not be able to vote, which Mr. Nobed has actually articulated, is the issue about political alliances. Now, the reason is because many people say will not vote because their oppositions are not coming to an alliance. Now, you say that, and this also prompted us to ask the question also based on what happened in 2018.
Good.
Post-electoral petitions where parties were seen at the national level, instead of actually giving the reality, they were actually there painting different pictures, and they said nothing will change. But this same party now coming in of the same thing that not happened. Let me quote an example. You said we could not have accepted the result of 2018 because we thought that it was a fiasco. But you also said that the result, your party asked for recount. I want to ask you, if your party said the results were not authentic, did they have any alternative result sheet to show that this is what we have, as opposed to this is what the government, the minister Minaj is saying? Did you have any alternative of all the process about all the polling stations? If you had, why didn't you not publish it for Cameroonians to see?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, for such intelligent journalism. You bear in mind with me that Professor Alain Fogotedom, who is presently at the Carnegie Center prison, during the pleading at the Constitutional Council, said that he was part of the commission that was in charge of the compilation of the result, and that only 32, that's because there are altogether 58 divisions, 32 reports were missing. 32 reports were missing. Those reports were signed at the level of the division. So when the results came to the Constitutional Council, we realized that those 32 results which were signed, the report that were signed at level of division were missing, and those that came to the Constitutional Council were not signed because every page of the results of the report was signed by the representative of political parties and civil society. So you find that we contested the results at the Constitutional Council based on the fact that the original results were missing and those who were submitted at the Constitutional Council were not authentic. Now, coming back to the topic of the day, because that is just...
No, you evoke the issue. I want to also raise that because this is part of the reason why you're not giving voters confidence.
Yes.
Because when we also play politics on some realities,
this is a reality I'm telling you. This is a reality I'm telling you.
But the same thing is contradicting what Michelle Donkey actually posted in a video, which was a video that she said at the time of the day they had not had all the results, the returning sheet, because if we look at the Southwest region, your party was, let's look at the littoral. Each party, the same like Senior Barrister Party, must have representative in all the polling stations. They must also have their own, because if you have representatives, those representatives will send their individual voting sheet with or without the total coalition, because if the man in government school number 1 is sending you his result, the man in government school number 2 send, the man in government school, they also have the individual process verbal before the national compilation. My question is, did you have all the individual process verbal of the different polling units irrespective of the coalition?
Mr. Tah Mai Javis will bear in mind with me that when I just joined the CRM in 2018, I was really highly welcomed by Michelle Ndoku, who preceded me in the political party. and she was part of the committee of the the council that was at the Constitutional Council. And even after that, we were in the street with Maitre Michel Ndoki contesting the results of the Constitutional Council. I want to ask you this question: which will you believe, the Ndoki Michel in 2018 or the Ndoki Michel in 2025? So,
as a journalist, let me answer you straight.
Yes.
The Ndoki Michel in 2025 that came out with the staggering revolution, because in the course of politicking, there's what called the party discipline.
I want to tell you something, that if we're in Cameroon, you bear in mind with me that there is what we call jurors. What we call jurors. You find
So
out.
are you accusing her
Yes,
of being
there's
under
what we call
duress?
jurors. I will explain to you.
It cannot work both ways.
I will explain to you. She has no duress. Why? In the CRM, because she could resign and would face no impact. But in this country, we find that even business enterprises, businessmen, companies, you find most often that once you kick against the system in place, it's difficult for you to operate. They look for every possible means to mock you dry. So Maitre Michel Ndoki, I wouldn't say she's a liar, but the mere fact that she has left the CRM, you understand that she could be acting because of certain pressure from the regime in place, or certain things which are promised her. And you know that we are on the eve of the election, and people will always come out. Maybe because they see that this political candidate has a lot of credibility, they do everything possible to ridicule or to discredit that candidate.
Anyway, let me not.
But like I said, you've not even allowed me to expatiate.
No, but
on
because you raised issue, I was going.
So
my question was said you are the one that died, go to Chico Dualan, and so I had to also come back.
Yes, that's the more reason I said. To answer this question, I told you that's a brain-raking question. If you heard the way I told you, I said it's a brain-raking question. Like I said, if you were to ask of a political candidate or a candidate of a political party who can win the confidence of the electorate in 2025, I would tell that it's rightly Professor Maurice Kamto. Looking at the different strides which he has been pulling, look at the just ended revendications of the CRM, right even up to the Court of Appeal of the Central Region and the Constitutional Council, because we are referred by the Constitutional Council Court of Appeal. We're asking for the publication of the unique electoral list by according to Article 80 of the Electoral Code, which you find that most political parties were not even on that. They were all on other things. And then we equally have been with other political parties in the center of a coalition to ask for the consensual reform of the electoral system. And then the CRM has an academy who have been on the ground taking time to sensitize Cameroonians on the need to vote, to vote, watch, and secure their vote. Because let me tell you, you are talking about a police station agent. A police station agent will only feel secure by the virtue of the number of persons that he finds that they are outside the police station. That if he raises any alarm, those people will be out to support him. Because if you just get just a single person and place, he may feel insecure, because don't forget that most often the security officers who are there, they also have pressure from the ruling CPDM in place to influence results. That's the gospel truth.
No, this
I will tell you.
This allegation.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. Let me tell you something. I had it. If you want me to say it, I had, while I was in the prison in Kondengi, I had the opportunity to meet with certain security agents who are in prison, maybe as a result of the elections of 1992. I'm saying this.
Are we still talking about this topic?
We are still talking about this issue.
And these are the issues that still give voter apathy here.
No, the issue.
These are issues that you.
I have said this. I've explained to you. You are talking. I said the CRM, besides recruiting police station agents, we have educated the militants on the need of not voting and living expecting that God will send an angel from heaven to come and secure those votes. They stay around it until the votes are counted, and they accompany the agent that are supposed to carry the results to
we'll be coming back.
the DO's
we'll
office.
Come back to you. Mr. Kimbang has just joined us of the ruling party, CPDM. Mr. Kimbang, what must be done to win voters' confidence from the position of the opposition, or do you still reason with him or senior barrister, or you disagree?
Good afternoon, Tah Mai Javis, also senior barrister and co-panelist. Let me speak like somebody who has been observing. I don't want to speak from a CPDM point of view for this topic. I want to speak like somebody who has been observing and seeing and hearing what is happening outside. To be very candid, it is going to be very difficult for the population. They need change. But the problem is, who can they entrust this change into his hands? If Senior Barrister speaks here, you will discover that he has the potentials to take this country ahead. If Monique Kamto come and sit here, he will speak. You hear that Monique Kamto has the potential to take this country ahead. If Dr. Akumba come and sit here, you will see the same thing. So the problem now is the population, the people are confused. They don't know who to choose. That they cannot choose the 20 best candidates, because among all these 20 best candidates, they need but one. Now when you look at the CPDM, the CPDM already has its die-hard supporters that on that day they are going to vote for the CPDM. And so now when you look at the number of political parties that are outside, it gives us the impression that they are not out to fight for the interests of the population, but they are out to fight for themselves. Because there is one phenomenon that you notice in Cameroon. You cannot have a country where every individual is a presidential candidate. I'm sure today they are going up to 40 because 400, because each and every day people are declaring themselves independent candidates. This party, there are some parties that don't, even in their quarter they are not even known, but they are presidential candidates. So this issue of always saying that the voters are going to decide. To be very candid, this English that we speak here, or those people, they don't even know that we are dealing with we are in Africa where more than half of the population are political illiterate. They don't even understand these terms that we are speaking here. Look at the issue. In 1992, you could see that Nijon Fundi has already gathered a lot of population, and he was not all over Cameroon. But there are many political parties, opposition parties, that will say that we are capable, we are this, we are that. But if you go to just the nearby villages, they are not known. Even if you cross to Bonaberi, there are many people that they might not know some of the parties. But when the people speak, you would think that no, these are angels that are going to give Cameroon a bright future. The problem is, yes, if the people don't know these parties or this so and so person, how are they going to vote? That is the problem. Because if you look at what is happening, to be very candid with you, the people are very confused. Totally very, very confused. When you sit in an off-license and you talk about political party in Cameroon, or you talk about voting in Cameroon, or elections in Cameroon, the people will just say, CPDM is going to win again. Why do they say so? It's not because maybe maybe they love the CPDM so much, but it's because the opposition has disappointed them. Because they are expecting that the opposition should at least come out with a candidate that can show that this is the person. Because we cannot say that we have 20 best candidates and we are going to vote. We are going to have 10 presidents who are the best. You understand now? So the fact is that we believe that most of the opposition parties, they have intellectuals. There are people who master the economy. There are people who master the politics. If there are 20 of them, whom among these 20 are the population going to choose? That is where our problem comes from now. So by so doing, the population is totally confused and they don't know who to vote for. And I think that if the opposition don't sit and come together and form an alliance, I bet you free and fair election conducted in this country, CPDM will win hands down.
Thank you.
Okay. Senior Barrister, you seem not to agree.
Well, what would you have expected from a pundit of the CPDM? He is very good at the divide and rule strategy. You see, what he was saying was just making me feel like throwing out, because you see, they want to make parties of the opposition look as if they were children in a classroom, all of whom have to obey the teacher. Look, gentlemen, you have to be serious. Political parties are independent organizations. Each and every one of the serious political parties are independent organizations. When CRM is talking, I know somebody is talking, because when I go down to the field, I meet CRM. But when you go pick people who just wait for the announcement of elections to stand up and say, I'm a candidate, please. On this channel, somebody asked me to go join one of those funny fellows. You can declare yourself candidate. It is not because you have declared yourself candidate that you are going to win. Small picking color, the sharpener for morning time. Look, these elections are like a marathon. You people are committing the big fallacy and big mistake of trying to evaluate the result of a marathon race before it has even started. Many things can happen in the marathon race. Many things. Your favorite athlete, upon trying to run, may have muscle cramp. There are some who can have heart attack. There are some who can hit their legs on the ground and fall and not get up again. No, please, you have to be very careful. Stop making stupid statements. Before you came, I was explaining here that the so-called grandeur of the CPDM is a fafa lie. CPDM, to answer my young brother here, CPDM has lost elections in this country. True or false? You have lost elections in this country. You have lost elections in this country. It's a historic fact. It's a historic fact. CPDM has lost elections in this country. It's a historic fact. Why did you lose? If you could lose then, you will lose now. So don't bother yourself. Don't think that because you have been going on to elections with people who were not sound. Look, every day is not Christmas. This time around, there is going to be a match. There is going to be a match. And I want to tell you that it's not advisable for anyone to make those type of pronouncements. The opposition, no sir, there is no such thing as the opposition. You have Reform Party, you have MRC, you have parties that are in the opposition. You have SDS, you have parties that are in the opposition. When you say you have 20 best, excuse me. Look, let me tell you. Let me tell you. It looks like you forget that among the political parties, there are some that are divisional. There are some that are regional.
Mutaga talked about the issue that some just going for.
Thank you. There are some that are, look. There are some, we know. I don't want to give names, but you know there are some that are limited to a particular division. So when that one stands up to talk, you also ask us to go in alliance with that party.
No, Barrister, the thing is that when you have SDF, when you have SDF, you have CRM, we have Reform Party, we have there are some of those parties.
Now, when you take somebody who stands up and says, I am an independent candidate, I want an alliance, because he knows he has no grassroots, he has nothing on the field. He wants an alliance. He calls journalists, calls associations. He wants to fool people that he is popular. You are making a one-day show. When it comes to voting, who will vote for you? You are not the same like a party that has representation on the ground. Because the day I, Ashu Emmanuel, want to announce my candidature officially, you will take your eyes and eat Christmas. You will take your eyes and I've been talking to them here. Some of them used to think that was a joke. But when they challenged me, I asked Mr. Javis, okay, you want to see communicants? I will send them. Have you not been receiving my communicants? I will send them to you from all over the country. Because we are all over the country. Somebody asked me the other day, have you been to India? Look, that is him sitting there. That's the permanent secretary of the party. Ask him where he's coming from. Where is he from? Others used to say, I don't go to Mafe. I've been there already. And I'll be there again this weekend. This week, I'll be there. So, look.
And you just left the West.
I just left the West. I was in Tonga. Those who were in the party, those who were in the party forum saw the fallout. We are reorganized there and work is going on. You will see that by the time we are kicking off, it is the people who will qualify as candidates. You cannot choose like that randomly. Let us start the race. Those who will qualify as candidates are the ones who can now be called to say, can you ally or can you not ally? Among those ones, it's not because you are a politician that we should just run and go and ally with you. Let me remind you of certain things. There are political parties that belong to CPDM. You are a CPDM man, you know what I'm talking about. You have created many political parties. There are political parties of the presidential majority. There are political parties that have an alliance with CPDM. So you want us of the opposition just to go and ally with anybody. You are pushing us to failure. Sorry, we are not going to fail because we know all your tricks. We know how you have been fooling people in the past. This time around, we shall make no alliance with any party that belongs to CPDM, that is a presidential majority or an ally of the CPDM. And that way, you will not be able to foil our plans. Now, this gentleman said, I beg, just wait a bit. He said, the strategic plan of the political parties is not on the table. When you talk of strategic plan, that is a plan, the war plan. If a general carries his war plan and put on the table, is it secret? Is it a plan again?
Of course.
When you make your strategic plan public, is this still strategic? We have, you should not know. You should not know our strategic plan. I cannot tell you my strategic plan. Watch our plans unfold. When I have executed a part of it, I will say I have done this. But I cannot tell you I will do this. I will do. I blamed CRM for going on air to say we need 6.5 billion. I blame them. You don't do that because they just told the Minister of Transmission that they are capable of raising 6.5 billion, which will give him sleepless nights. But there are people who can raise more than that silently, which I mean, and those ones are more dangerous. Okay. So it is better
Senior Barrister,
to keep your plan secret, sir.
Senior Barrister, you just briefly, you just said we will not go into an alliance with parties that
belong to the CPDM, that of the presidential majority, that are allied to CPDM.
My question to you, as a senior person in the field of politics since more than 30 years, how will you recognize which party?
We know them. We know them.
What are the barometers?
Sir, look, that one is not even a question. It is not even a question because we know them.
Yeah, the voters don't know. So
no.
Know that, okay, social and so characteristic means that the party may.
Yes. Mr. Javis, the person going into alliance is not the voter. It is the political parties. We are the ones going into alliance. So we know our adversaries. We know them very well, so we cannot ally with them.
Okay. Mr. Noble, you wanted to react before I ask my question.
Yes, sorry, Senior Barrister, I've really listened to your words. I think you made mention of any party. Do you want to tell us that in
the opposition, the CPDM or the CPDM majority?